What's up guys, Ken from Cerberus USA. So in this video we're concluding the band home gym workout. If you missed the last video, there should be a suggested link up here, but we went over upper body in that session, so this one is going to be lower body. Before we get into everything, please hit the subscribe button down below, that way you get notifications for all upcoming videos. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, and then if you have any questions or comments, please put them down below so I can get back to you. So the last video we did, or I did, it was all about the upper body session with one mini band and nothing else. And I want to continue that for this video, basically because if you only have access to a single band, I want you to be able to do it, the entire thing with just that one band. Now there are workarounds if you have multiple bands, and I'm going to touch upon those, but the overall session is just going to be with that same one mini band that we used before. So the exercises we're going to be covering is going to be back squat, and then a sumo style squat, stiff leg deadlifts, good mornings, and then more isolation stuff with the hamstring curl and leg extension. So let's get into it. So the first exercise in today's banded session is going to be back squat. Now there's two ways to set up the band just based upon how much resistance you need. So the first way is going to go the way with the least resistance. We're basically going to take the band, stand inside it, and we want to find the center of this band here and then raise that behind our neck. From this position, we're going to put our arms out and counterbalance ourselves a little bit and then just squat as if you're squatting with a bar. And then you'll feel like the band will kick in probably around halfway up. For some people it's perfect. If you want to do higher reps as well, it's perfect for that. But if you want to do more weight and more resistance with the band, what I would suggest would be to take the band off and then basically stand through one end and then take this end and put this under your foot. Now you've got a double band in the middle. From here, we basically want to find the middle of this section and then raise this behind our necks. Now, it's a little bit harder, but the tension is massively increased. And then from this position, we're just doing the same motion, squatting down as if we're with a bar. And already, I can feel some good activation. Oh. So there's number one. Number two is going to be another squat variation, but this time we're doing a ZERCHER sumo squat. The reason for the ZERCHER is I personally like the way it feels because I'm using a wider stance versus if I was to put the band behind my neck. I think it's too much resistance. So we're going to start off with the band in the same position as the high tension back squat. So under one foot, but then we're going to take a wider stance for this exercise under the second, and then what we're going to do is we're going to pick up the band in the crook of our elbows. So this is our starting position here. Now we're going to squat down and really try and spread our knees as wide as we possibly can, getting down to the bottom and coming back up. Basically, same mechanics as a regular squat, but we're really trying to force our knees out and get all the tension at the bottom. Now you really want to try and make sure you're not bending. You want to try and stay, keep your chest proud, so you're staying more upright. And you can even look up to the ceiling and then really try and force your knees out to emphasize some of that adductor action. So there's number two. Number three in the list is going to be a stiff leg deadlift, really trying to target those hamstrings. So we're going to set up the band the same as we did for the rowing exercise in the first video, and that is we have the band laying flat on the floor. We're going to stand in it. For me personally, I want to try and stand so that I've got not tons of the band on the outside of my foot, that way I've got a lot of resistance. From here, we're just going to reach down and grab the band, and we're going to basically keep our legs nice and straight, slight bend in the knee, and then hit our stiff leg deadlift. Really forcing the hips back, trying to feel the hamstring, find that stretch, and once we get it, coming straight up. Now you can add a tempo in as well, that way, because the band doesn't give that much weight compared to a regular barbell, we can overemphasize the action of the muscle. And then once you're done, you're literally down and letting go. There's number three, on to good mornings. So for good mornings, we're going to set up the band the same as we did for the back squat. The only difference is you're going to have a slightly narrower foot stance, that way you can hit more hamstring during the movement. So the less tension setup again, we're just going to stand inside the band, raise it above our head, backhand the neck, and then we're going to keep our toes forward, maybe slightly out depending on how your regular foot stance is, and then from here we're just going to shoot our hips back like we did in the stiff leg deadlift. Once you feel that stretch, coming up and trying to contract everything at the top too. Same again, and there is our exercise. Now, if you want to make it harder, you're going to stand on that one end, come down, find here, find the middle, put that band behind our necks, and then from here we can start the exercise straight away with our hips shot out, knees nice and almost straight, and then hit our exercise. Now the band does not feel the best in the back of the neck, so if you don't want it to rip you up, you could wear a hoodie with a hood up, something like that, just to sort of give you a bit more protection. So the leg extension now is going to be the only exercise on this list where we need an extra piece of equipment, which is just a regular seat. Now if you don't have a seat that you can actually put a band around, I've got a workaround that I'll show you in a second, but for this one, basically what we're going to do is we're going to take the band, we're going to put it through behind both legs of the chair, or the seat. We're going to sit down, and we want to try and get this even as possible, and then we're going to put our feet through both sides of the band. It's a little tricky to get in, and from here, here's your starting position. Now, one issue you have is that when you're in this position, the band can basically roll up and down your shin a little bit. So the workaround I found for this is that once we're in our starting position, we can take the band and we can twist it on here and then put that around your toe. So you can see here, it's twisted in the front and then that goes on our shin. Same on this side, we're just going to twist it, twist it, put it around to here. And that's us. So there's our start. And then from this position, we're just going to keep one foot down and then extend the other leg. Now you might hit your heel, so what I would suggest doing is trying to point your toes as you do the motion and going slow, that way you can try and avoid hitting your heel on the ground. And this leg, same again, point the toes, and you'll see that band wants to slide up, but because it's on your toes, now it's secure. Here we go. Okay, and now for the workaround if you don't have a chair that you can actually wrap the band around. So what we're going to do is we're going to have the band on the ground and we're going to step inside it. And this is going to be our start. And we're going to do the same thing with twisting the band and putting it on our toes. That way it comes up and crosses at our shin. We're going to hold the band here and essentially have a downward hand, and then bracing on a chair, we can pull back, whoops, almost lost it, pull back into our starting position, and from here we can extend and do our leg extension. Now the band does want to move a little bit, but we can still get good activation. And if it's not enough tension, you can come down, grab closer to your foot, get back into starting position, and again, do your extensions. Okay, so the last one on the list is hamstring curls. Now again, we're going to want to use a chair for support since we're standing on one leg. Now what we want to do is we're going to put our foot on the leg through the band again, and then from this position, we're going to actually stand on the band in the front. Now there might not be enough tension, so just basically stretch the band and then stand on it. And from here, we're going to support ourselves on the chair and then hit our hamstring curl. Now you could put the seat a little bit further forward or close to you, depending on how you want a tension. For me, I want it further forward, that way I can extend my hip a bit and then really hit that hamstring curl, focusing on the hamstring. And there's all the exercises done. So that concludes the lower body session of the banded home workouts. hopefully it helps you guys come up with some ideas for yourself to basically keep training when you're locked out of the gym. If you have any insight or input into different ways to perform some of the exercises I've shown today and ways that which you feel would work better, please get in touch with me. I'd love to get your insight. And until the next video, keep I was going to say keep training hard. I guess keep trying to figure out ways to keep training with everything going on, and yeah, stay safe out there as well, please.